Welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue on with that same river shot that we kind of turned into like old Texas Chainsaw Massacre style footage. We're going to work with the analog damage and we're going to comp this in on a TV screen. So let's check that out. So we got the river shot that we had, and I found this stock TV sitting on a motorcycle for some reason.
It happens. What?
So it kind of has that old CRT TV look, which you'd play a tape back on. So let's show you how we built this. First shot is just the river play shot. So it originally, of course, looked like that, full screen. I brought that over into the color page, put analog damage on it, and gave it some of that VHS offset. And it shrunk down just because I resized it for the comp, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Second one is our TV. And what I did was just pull that into Fusion. So we'll open that up and take it to Fusion. And what I did with this one was just grabbed a polygon here and traced it around the area of the TV. So let's reset that and I'll show you how to do that. So when you first bring it into Fusion, it'll just look like this. Grab your polygon, which is this tool right up here. You can drop it on down. I'm not going to connect it right now because I want to see the background image before I actually connect it. If we connect it, it'll actually block out what we're looking at in the meantime. So I'm going to take that off, click on the tool though, which means that's what we're working on, and I'll reset us over to a single viewer. So I got media 1 in, but we're on the polygon tool. And what we're going to do is zoom in and just trace out the edge of the TV where we want the hole cut. So I will try to concentrate on these corners here, and you can always go back and refine. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And there's a couple tricks you can do to get the curves to line up nicely. Okay, so there's our rough outline. We would need to connect it to see it. I'm going to go back to a dual screen viewer with our viewer up here, and we'll grab our media out and go on this side. We'll connect this polygon back into the alpha mask. So take that square and add it to there, put our media 1 back in this viewer, and then we're going to soften the edge under the polygon with this soft edge and invert. When we hit invert, that's actually going to cut the hole in it. Now, anything that's white will be see-through, anything that's black will be cutting a hole. So now that it's inverted, if I move this soft edge, you could see what it's doing. So we want just a small amount, just enough to kind of feather it a little bit. And then we'll take a look here. We've got some funky angles. So let's go back in and refine this. So if we go back to our 1 screen viewer here, we're still on our polygon tool, and I'm going to get rid of our clips and come down a little bit. So here's a part you can see it needs some refinement right in the upper section. Go ahead and click on the edge of your tangent and you'll get these little arms that stick off. If you hit Command, you can move each side of the tangent independently. So then you can kind of move it right up into this soft edge here. Same with that one. Command, bring that up. This looks like it could be a little further over to the edge. We'll come down, just keeping an eye on the work here. Right about there. This one's kind of a sharp, a little too much of a sharp point. You could delete them too if you click on that and just hit delete. Then you could go back here if you wanted. Grab this tangent, hit Command again, and loop that down closer to the edge. Same with this bottom one. You can stretch them out too if you need to. I might get rid of this one. And we'll grab this tangent, hit Command, bring it out. This one might need another point, but let's see what that looks like just with a little more refinement. This one's a little too sharp of an edge as well. And what I mean by that is it just gets an angle coming in here, and I don't want that angle to be so harsh. So let's bring that down. We can grab this one. For some reason, I'm getting this little spinning ball there. Every now and then that happens, why it's like caching. So here we got like an angle. I'm going to pull this out, or actually delete that because there's an extra point. So bring that over, hit Command and bring this edge a little tighter. Same with this, and then work our way up here to this corner and maybe bring this guy out a little more. So you got a lot of flexibility as you make your way. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're working on a paid project, of course, you're going to want to take more time and make it look nice, but that's how you can get that in. And then, as I said, the soft edge helps sell that quite a bit. That's it for that. And Command F to zoom out. So this is what our comp's looking like. We'll go back over to the edit page. And now that we have the hole in this TV layer, it's letting this underneath river footage show. And of course I did, zoom out and move it around so you could see the action in here and a little bit of the analog damage. Now this shot's kind of looking a little off. It's looking a little fake and green screened. So we could actually fix the overall shot. And I did, in color, add a little film grain on here just to make it look a little older. We could probably do a few more things to it, bring the black up a little. This TV just looks a little too fake and plasticky. So there's that. And then the last thing I did was add this glare layer. And what that is, if you can see this, we got the screen cut out on this very top layer. So I literally copied and just grabbed this and dragged it up. So in here is the exact same clip, except I didn't invert the polygon. And it's actually out of alignment just a little, which I think adds to the look. And what I mean by that is this screen cut out on the second layer, where our edge is that we just worked on, is slightly off. See how that is? Now when I turn this second one on, you can see the screen comes back in with its reflected glass, which makes it look natural. And it kind of gives that shadowed edge in the bezel here. And then when you turn the river shot on, it just adds that screen glare that we're used to having. And that's about it. All right, so that's all I wanted to show you guys today. Kind of just have some fun messing with a comp and getting it to look old and like a VCR or that kind of footage. Leave a comment below if you got an idea you'd like me to make a video on. And subscribe if you like my content and you haven't already. I appreciate it. It helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.